Hey guys, it's Brandy. I just wanted to hop on and do a process video. This one is using the Recollections butterfly die that I got from Michaels on their clearance yesterday, and I just was showing. I thought I was recording it, but I apparently wasn't. This is my first process video really. I thought I recorded me die cutting it, but I didn't, so I die cut it out on some alcohol inked background that I had done previously, and I kept all the little butterfly pieces and the actual die cut. And what I'm going to do is I am going to place it onto some black cardstock, but first I gotta cut it down because it wasn't a full sheet, so it didn't cut properly. So right now I'm kind of searching for some black cardstock to put behind it, and I gotta use my trimmer and cut it down to size. And I typically use A2 size cards, which I cut. The card itself is like 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so I cut my panel to 4 by 5 1/4, and then I will place that. And then I'll cut the alcohol inked background down because the paper wasn't quite even due to it not being the right size when I placed it through the die cutting machine. So, and I did end up cutting part of the butterfly. I left one side a little open, but that's okay, on one of the butterfly wings. But that's okay, you don't really pay attention to that. And then I use my Creative Memories corner rounder to round the corners, add a little extra there. And then I use my art glitter glue, which I love. Unfortunately you can't order that in the winter time, but I use that and I glue it around the outside panel, and then I glue it onto the black cardstock. This is a pretty simple process video. I'm trying to get started doing process videos, so I figured I'd start with something a little simpler to do. So hopefully you guys like this video, and you guys can, if you guys have this die, it gives you a little bit of inspiration. I know I have a die, it's a heart one that is similar to this, and you can use it the same exact way. So yeah, I place it onto the black cardstock, and now I'm just using Michaels or Hobby Lobby cardstock there. And then I ended up rounding the corners of that as well using my Creative Memories corner rounder. And then I use my art glitter glue again, and I glue down that panel. Now my card, I didn't quite cut it when I folded it and scored it and everything. There was a little left hanging, so I had to place it just right and then trim off the excess, which in some of my cards I forgot to do, and so they were kind of a little wonky, but this one I noticed right away. So, and then what I do is I like to stamp out sentiments ahead of time. It saves me time, so it's already stamped out, and I usually use just black memento ink when I stamp those out. And I just stamp out a bunch of sentiments, and I have them a little container off to the side, so it's easy for me to just grab it and put a card together. So it works out a lot better. Here I'm using some Dollar Tree foam rectangles and putting them on the back of that sentiment. Mother's Day is coming up here in a few months, so I decided to make some Mother's Day cards. Figured those would be really pretty to send out. And then whenever I am done putting the foam down, what I do is I peel the backing off, but then I put art glitter glue behind that just to make sure it sticks and stays. Just to double check, because it's foam that has been sitting there for a little bit, so, and it's from Dollar Tree, so I just want to make sure that it's properly placed and will stick. So I'm just placing some dots on that foam adhesive before I put it down on the card. So there's that card, pretty much done. I'll end up putting the panel on in the inside. And I usually have those cut down to size ahead of time too. I have a bunch of them cut ahead of time. And again, I cut those down to 4 by 5 1/4, so they fit inside the cards. So I'll just glue that down, and I just use like Hobby Lobby's 110-pound cardstock. That's typically what I use, especially like whenever I use my Copic markers and stuff like that. When it comes to coloring, I'm cheap and I don't buy the expensive Copic marker paper. I just use whatever was on sale, and it works fine for me. So here I'm going to be making another card. I am using the black cardstock again. It just makes the colors pop, I think, a little more. So I did cut that down to 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm rounding the edges on that as well. And sorry if I'm out of frame. My camera setup isn't exactly perfect right now, but I am trying to work on that. So I'm just placing some art glitter glue behind the butterflies and just placing them sporadically along around on that card panel to make my second card. So I'm just using the pieces that people could throw away if they wanted, but I just wanted to reuse them. No sense in wasting them. They're perfect for this. So, and I didn't end up using all the butterflies, and I didn't place them exactly like perfect, like symmetrical or whatever. But the card did turn out pretty cute. Absolutely love the colors. They're bright, bold, and pretty. Especially during winter right now, you kind of need the bright and colorful, because right now all we have outside is like brown and snow and cold, and it just kind of makes me think of spring. So alcohol inks are super fun to play with, super easy to make backgrounds and to die cut them. I absolutely love them. Maybe I'll do a process video on those eventually. I was going to put foam behind the butterflies, but I decided against it. I decided to just place them flat onto the paper. But I have some more process videos coming up, so hopefully I'll get used to editing these a little better for you guys and all that stuff. So I realize I'm saying the word quite a bit, so I'm sorry about that. I'm not used to doing the voiceovers. It's been a while since I've done voiceovers. But so there is that card panel. And then I'm just going to pick out another sentiment to put on it out of my box. But yeah, I do like birthday, Mother's Day, sympathy, all that good stuff. So I'm taking that off camera and I'm trimming it because I noticed it was crooked. And I usually just trim it with my scissors. I don't really break out my paper trimmer for that. And then I'm going to use the Dollar Tree foam again and put that on the back of the sentiment. And then I'm going to also do the art glitter glue again on the foam, just to make sure it sticks and stays. Because some of the stuff I just don't trust. Like I use the art glitter glue on the back of some of my stickers too, just to make sure they stay. Because I've had like even thickers in the past just fall off the page, and it could be possibly due to them being older or just they weren't stored properly. So there I am putting the art glitter glue on the back, as you can see, dotting it, and then I'm going to place that on there. And then I'm going to place it onto another card panel, which I have a lot of card panels also made ahead of time. I have a couple drawers of different colors. I just take the like Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, whatever's on sale. I usually cut those down like 8.5 by 11. Cut those in half, and then I score them in half. They make A2 size cards, so it's perfect. And then here I'm just trimming off the excess. And there you have it. Using this one die, I created 2 different cards. So it was super fun, and I love the way that they turned out. So I hope you guys liked this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.